This poster was drawn by Adam Rambalais for Marvel as part of its promotion for the Hawkeye series. It was also shared on the Archery subreddit, where it was met with a lot of face palms. Archery in popular media has always come under scrutiny for its wildly inaccurate portrayals, so what exactly is wrong with this picture? Before I begin, please note that I'm not criticizing the skill of the artist. I'm sure no one's going to go on a witch hunt over a few small technical mistakes, some of which aren't the fault of the artist. We can appreciate the art and we can learn something from it. This also isn't a critique of the show itself, as I haven't seen it, though if there's anything worth mentioning, feel free to let me know in the comments. Now let's examine the poster. I won't comment on the overall layout and stylistic choices, but it's important to note that this is not an original drawing. The three main elements of this poster are copied from different reference material. Kate Bishop is taken from this poster, Clint Barton is taken from this scene from a trailer, and Lucky the dog might be from this poster, but that's beside the point. We'll examine Kate first. There's one very strange detail in Kate's pose. Her fingers. Her fingers are placed over the top of the arrow, and there's no universe, Marvel or otherwise, where this works as a grip. This error is copied from the promotional poster in which Hailey Steinfeld poses. Curiously, her other poses show the correct grip between the fingers. From an artistic perspective, it's important to illustrate characters in dynamic poses, but let's talk about a few small archery details to help more accurately depict these idle and ready stances and why this artistic choice makes no sense. Normally, we wouldn't walk around with an arrow nocked unless we need to, such as during a hunt. When we do, we normally keep the arrow pinned on the bow with the index finger of the bow hand. We can then use our other hand to grip the string, with the fingers between the index and middle fingers, as is the most common method for the Mediterranean draw. This opens a range of iconic archer poses, the archer standing tall, alert and observant, ready to bring the bow into action in a smooth motion, the one that is the favourite to illustrate as the hero shot. There are some artistic problems with this, as the normal method of shooting obscures the face to the viewer or camera, which leads to some unorthodox compromises. Notably, Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games film shoots with a lower Olympic-style anchor so that her face can be seen, and Clint's pose in the same poster reflects this visual clarity. But there doesn't seem to be an artistic or practical reason why Kate would pose with her fingers above the arrow. Under the arrow, maybe. This is also a common way of shooting, but there's no rhyme or reason why anyone would hold the string above the arrow. It doesn't help with visual clarity or add any dynamism into the pose. Apart from that, Kate's illustration looks fine. Clint, on the other hand, where do we start? First, what the hell is this? You don't have to be an archer to tell that something is wrong with the arrow placement. I'm sure a few people will point out that the Mongolian shot like this. Yeah, Clint isn't using a Mongolian technique, so no. And while people can and do shoot the arrow on the outside with the fingerstyle of shooting, not only is it very unorthodox, Hawkeye doesn't do it, so it's not canon and therefore is wrong. Clint is a left-handed archer and is correctly seen with a left-handed bow, but the arrow should be on the right side, the same side as his face, where the shelf is, which is designed specifically for that purpose. There's no place to put it on the other side and he will end up shooting off his laser sight. But is this the artist's error or the source material? I've tried looking at the original and I can't conclusively say what's going on here. I suspect that this is a CGI arrow. It's normal for actors to shoot without arrows during filming for safety reasons, so they pull light bows with empty strings and dry fire their bows, and arrows are added in post-production. This seems evident in this shot because there's a mismatch between the lens focus on the arrow and the bow, like the studio has put the arrow on top. If this was a physical arrow, it would be lying across the shelf, but it's angled too far up for the purpose of framing Clint's face, and very likely inserted on the wrong side. The artist simply copied what he sees. The arrow on the poster is a weird one. The artist intentionally adds a broadhead. I guess it looks kind of cooler and more recognizable as an arrow by viewers, but that is a very weird arrowhead. Normally arrow points are screwed into the shaft and can be swapped out. I don't know what the reference was for this rounded tip. The grip is very much a Hollywood mock draw. The tension is all in the fingers and only really works for light draw weights, and the release is going to be an awful pluck compared to a flatter hand with no tension. There is a small artist mistake here. The artist places the pinky finger on the bowstring, while the source material does show the more correct 3-finger grip with the pinky off the string. It's a small detail that was missed. And that's the critique. But by now you might be wondering, what's the point? Why nitpick over small details? These are superheroes who can do whatever they want. And that's true. Who am I, an archery coach, to tell Hawkeye what to do? Who cares about fictional people and how they hold a bow? Why get offended? To that I say, I don't think it's offensive. I think it's just lazy. When we're supposed to believe that a character is a badass hero, assassin, ninja warrior, their actions need to show that. But when someone who is supposedly an elite warrior can't hold a weapon properly, it ruins the suspense of disbelief. So we're supposed to believe that Kate Bishop is
the world's greatest archer,
but she can't hold a bow. As an aside, we've also seen this argument in historical context, where we supposedly should take historical artwork as true and accurate depictions and ignore what we might see as errors, because everybody had a bow. Yet in modern times, artists and photographers have access to a near infinite amount of source material, and they still make blatant errors that could be fact-checked in 5 minutes. Look, in the end, it's just a poster. It's just a TV show, no big deal. If you're an archer, this probably isn't anything new, but if you're not, I hope you've learned a thing or two. And if one day you find yourself taking a stock photo with a bow, you look better than this guy.
Jojo, pose.